Before we get to the game itself, just talk about what DeMarvian's facing and your talks with him and just how he's doing.
Yeah, definitely. DeMarvian's getting ready to have a big surgery in front of him. It was a significant knee injury, and definitely, I mean, you could feel it on the sidelines, and just being on the field, part of the exam, I knew it was serious. But obviously his physical and football talent speaks for itself. He's just such a bright light. I mean, he's got a great infectious personality, tough young man, and we're definitely going to miss him. But he's got a long road. He's got a long road of rehab in front of him. So he'll obviously be loved and supported every step of the way.
I don't know on the game itself, any loss hits hard in the aftermath of a game, but just with where you were going into that game, the fact you were starting to play a little bit better, got some traction, seemed to play the game you wanted to give yourselves a chance, and then not win it, and then knowing what Overshown went through. Was that one of the tougher losses in what's been a very tough season?
Oh, definitely, and I know as a football team, that was about as heavy as a locker room that we've had in my time here. So definitely the loss, but the injury too. I mean, it was definitely heavy. But yeah, this game will humble you. It was a football game we were in position to win. I really liked the team's practice preparation going into it. We felt like things were starting to go our way. We had some tough breaks in the game that didn't go our way, but we still had a chance. And it was disappointing for us as a team. Obviously disappointing for our fans. But I was very proud of the way the guys played and just the way they rally and keep competing. A couple guys obviously went down during the game, and communication was steady, consistent, and they never lost their edge.
Clarence Hill also sit down a couple of things. Getting back to Marvion, you talked about a long road back. Is it likely that he could miss 2025?
Well, I think that's fair. I mean, because time of year. Obviously, we're in December, so yes. I mean, I just think like anything, you have the surgery and then the rehab is a long process. But I think that's very realistic.
Last night you said you had a chance to talk to Amani after the game. Have you talked to him at all?
I actually have not. I said I have not talked to him.
No, you hadn't talked to him last night. I know you had a chance to talk to him today.
No, I have not. Today was, obviously it was very busy like it always is after a Monday night game in the training room, and then our game plan meeting started at 7. So I'll definitely see those guys tomorrow. See the team tomorrow.
Mike, Todd Archer of the ESPN, Leafau and what he was able to do and coming in later. How has he developed as a rookie for you, and now need him to play a larger role?
Well, I mean, you could see right away just his passion and his ability. He's a striker, plays with great intensity. Obviously, did some good things on special teams, and just like young guy that needs opportunities. Continues to play well. He's done a really good job growing, with the green dot responsibility. So, really like the way he filled in once Demo went down. So, he's another very, very bright spot, of this rookie class.
And the production in the run game here lately with Rico, has that come with his understanding of the scheme and what you guys want, or are you guys kind of figuring out what you guys do best as a run game?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think first you got to talk about Rico. I mean, he's running the football. I think the courses and his run style is we've always loved his run style, but I just think the course work. We've gone to some more 3- and 4-man surface runs. I think some of the things we had a different plan. With Cincinnati, just because of their volume of defense, we got into a hash mark game. Actually, I got caught on the right hash a few times when I needed to run the ball. But I think the point I'm making, I thought we had a really good plan, and I think he definitely fits the way we're running the football. Particularly the last 3 games. So, and you got to give the guys up front. It starts up front. I mean, Cooper Beebe goes out. Brock moves over. TJ slides in. So I mean, our guys are they're starting to get a connection that that you need in the run blocking unit. I think our tight ends playing with more two tight ends has been beneficial. Now having Ferguson back. So I think there's a number of variables, but it definitely starts with the runner and most importantly, I think the guys up front are getting it done.
John Machota with The Athletic, being at 5-8 4 games ago, when you address the team, what's the message to them?
Well, just the facts. We're gonna need a lot of help, but it doesn't matter. We need to beat Carolina. So I mean, that's where you play Monday night. There's not a whole lot of time to really spend on the game, regardless of the outcome. I mean, that's I learned it from Marty Schottenheimer. He always talked about the midnight rule. I mean, it's so you have to turn the page. If you were in here today, the weight room was busy. The training room was busy. Coaches were in game plan meetings. So you got to just keep playing, and we're going to keep playing. We're going to keep fighting. We just got to keep getting guys healthy, keep them coordinated. The way we're operating is the way you're supposed to operate, and it's we're operating like winning teams do. We just got to get it done on the field.
And with that being the case, then would it be fair to say that you expect Cooper to be your starting quarterback for the rest of the season?
Well, just like anything. I mean, we're playing to win. Yeah, we're playing to beat Carolina. And that's I'm not trying to be cliche here. You have to keep it. You have to keep it clean like that. So I understand the questions.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. You talk about trying to get things coordinated. How difficult is it to keep everybody together, considering what happened last night and what you're facing down?
Yeah, no, excellent question. I think it's that's what the player day off in a sense is. I mean, it's everybody needs to reboot. We got a coaching staff's going to need some sleep tonight. I mean, it's Monday Night Football is it's for the fans and TV, so it's definitely not for the coaches. But and I think also with the players, it's so we'll go with what we call a late start Wednesday. They'll be in the weight room tomorrow. And we'll have a later start, gives the coaches some more time in the morning, gives them a little more personal time, and then we'll be smart with our training pattern going into Carolina. But yeah, you have to turn the page coming off these Monday night games.
What does it say about your group that you continue to shuffle on the whole line and it seems like you're still getting some kind of success?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's your O-line, that offensive line group is one of the key components of any football team. So those guys are very close, spend a lot of time together, do extra together. They have a hell of a Thursday night dinner. I mean, these guys it's a tight group. So, and I think it shows in these times. Yeah.
Nick
Harris, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. With Rico, 18 or 19 touches yesterday, was that kind of the anticipation going in, or maybe more touches would have been allowed?
Well, I think you always want to get a guy touch, especially more touches when you have that kind of production. I think third down and we got caught on the right hash. I mean, there's 2 calls I wish I had back to third down there in the red zone, and the second down call. When I was stuck on the right hash there too. In the fourth quarter. So I mean, you have calls like that, and and also he's rotating in. He had a couple long runs. Zeke got a few carries, but yeah, my goal is when you got a back it's hot. You like to get him 22 to 25 carries. I mean, if you're talking about the perfect world, but I think you got to look at the other side of the ball too. They want a time of possession and so forth. But based on the way we needed to play the game, our outlook of projecting how many points and the first 4th and 2 call was we called that on Tuesday in game plan meetings. So I mean you got to have an approach going into the game. So we wanted to make sure we gave our the passing game some opportunities, but we definitely went in with the run game as the lead.
And then CD kind of came up holding that shoulder on one of the tackles. Is he looking good going into the short week, or just kind of a day by day?
Good question. I do not have the total workup from today from the training room.
Josh.
Mike, Josh Tolentino, Lone Star Live. First quarter scoring had been an area of concern for you all season. What worked well on the opening drive, and is there stuff you can kind of carry over in how you prepared for that scrimmage?
Well, I mean, I think we've done a really good job moving the ball, early. But it was good to get a touchdown. The turnover, there on that second series was disappointing. But yeah, I think to me, I've always felt your first drive is is a reflection of the connection to prep going into the game. I mean, you should definitely have some movement in the first drive. Sometimes if a mistake's made or they throw a curveball at you that you don't hit, I think you have that. But I'm a big believer from an offensive perspective. You should have production on the first drive, and even if it's just switching the field position. So, but yeah, I thought that was real important for us to get that first drive in.
Yeah. Ed Werder, WFA. I know after the game last night you explained that you had a punt return on, not a punt block. When we talked to Jerry, he seemed to think there was a punt block had been called. And then there was a report today that Jerry asked for an explanation from John Fossil after the game about the whole situation. Could you just describe your part in observing that or being a part of it? Or?
Well, I think it's in. Just to be clear, I think it's the definition of what a punt return is versus what a punt block is. I think when you look at the situation, 2 minutes left in the game, 3 timeouts, you have the best returner in football back there. So you do, and we did. We called, for a punt return. But now I think you got to go deeper into the mechanics of a punt return. You have punt returns that have 100% hold up, and then you have punt returns that, you also want to make sure you ensure the punt, because you don't want the punter to sit back there and have all day and, punt it, hit the scoreboard, put it out of bounds. So, you got to put some pressure on them. So there is a component of a potential, rush in some of the returns that are called. So, and that was the case with Nick, because Buddy, we looped him across, and is John in here today? Yeah. John can take you through it, but that'll be a fun one for him to answer. But but in Nick, just because of the reaction of the guard and tackle, so he had the B gap and was able to. So it's more of an opportunity, but it's a return with a potential rush, by Nick, and that's what happened. So the hard part for came on in AO was just the fact that they were in a vice and it went out of bounds, and then they heard the crowd and just reacted and wasn't really sure how the ball got there. So, and that's where the tough part was, and you can see guys are trying to communicate it, but those guys, he was just not fully aware of that it was a block. So, that's a hard play. Obviously it's a mistake, and when I look at those things and just how because it's something, so we practice it. It's something that's repped and so forth. But the mechanics of being in a vice situation, being out of bounds, turning, and the ball's rolling towards you. That's a different spot to be in.
But did you guys have a conversation with Jerry to explain all that to him and straighten out?
General manager, he asks good questions. Yes, absolutely.
Stop.
Absolutely.
Saw use of the Athletic, Mike. Kind of going off of that, just with John Fossil, the special team mistakes in the last month. Like, how difficult have those conversations been with him?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, it's the evaluation of, what went right and what went wrong. I mean, it's something we do every single post game. So every play is graded, evaluated, and no different for myself, Mike Zimmer, and John. We have responsibilities as play callers, and a big part of play caller, definition of it is the responsibility you have on each and every play. Every assignment and so forth. There's an assessment of risk, and it's risk assessment, and when it goes right and you push the envelope a little bit, then obviously you're rewarded. But sometimes when you push it, it doesn't go the way you want it. So, and that's the beauty of the game of football. I mean, it's very fair to be criticized by it, but we're playing to win. We weren't playing to tie the game. We're not playing to just try to sneak in there and hope they screw it up. And that's the way we've always played here too. So, I think it's part of who you are and how you want to play. And but at the end of the day, play calling, when you're putting together a game plan, every situation's laid out. There's not a play in the game that you have not put your team in during the training period. It's it just comes at different times. So, and that's the beauty of the ebb and flow of a football game. So, it's just how far you're going to push your envelope sometimes.
And you talked about the fourth quarter. You had a play that you might have wanted back. Is that one of the ones after Rico had the 14-yard run and then 3 straight incompletions?
It was a second down call in that series. Yeah, we had the first down. We had the first down run was was actually set up by CD on the jet sweep before, so it was a great counter play, and Rico hit it. Almost had him one-on-one with the safety. Almost came out of there totally clean. So, and then we were on the right hash, and I was trying to get to the left hash I had a couple runs that I had sequenced, because the way I do it is when the defense is up, I'm sequencing the next series, and so when I ran the keep to the left and we missed it, I went to the next right hash call of preference, and that was 2nd and 10. Then now I'm in 3rd and 10. So I wish I would have got the keep's a good call. I mean, and the keeps were good for us. We had a lot of production on the keeps. But when you do the hash mark game plan heavy, that's what happens to you sometimes.
Garrett.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, what did you see from Trayvon Diggs his first game back after missing?
Well, I played a lot. Obviously, was at 71. 71 play. He played the whole game. So it was great to have him back out there. But I think coming off of everything he's been through, that was a lot of football for him.
John.
Jonah Gillette, WFAA. A lot of teams are banged up right now, a lot of injuries, but just kind of on a personal level, do you feel like this team has just been snake bitten this year with the number of injuries and to who the injuries have occurred and the severity?
Yeah, it's injuries is the most unfortunate part of the game, and we all have them. I mean, every team. You don't go through this league any season without them. Some numbers are higher than others, and the timing of it, and who and the timing is usually is part of that big challenge. So, but yes, this is exceptionally high, and I think it's just like anything. You just got to make sure you continue to look at everything. I'm talking to the trainers about it every day. Strength and conditioning, things you do differently maybe in the off season. I mean, you're always trying to find a better way in your training regimen. That's the way you have to do it here. But yeah, this is an unusually high year.
Mike.
Mike Leslie, WFA. Coach mentioned the locker room after the game was particularly down. Multiple guys, certainly Eric Kendricks, Micah Parsons. Well, there was a lot of emotion, visible emotion, maybe more so than we normally see about DeMarvion and his injury. I know it's obviously somewhat tethered to just the caliber of player that DeMarvion is in the season that he's had, but it seemed like there was a lot more to it than just that. Can you speak to just the young man that DeMarvion is and just the energy that he brought to this roster that maybe was reflected in some of the emotion we saw?
Definitely. No, I think it's very well said. I mean, when you first meet him, he has that presence. He has a very bright light, and now he's established himself. And I remember when he got hurt in Seattle. I mean, we were talking about him in pregame. I said, man, this kid's getting ready to take off. And Dan and I were talking about, how long you think we're going to get him in the starting lineup. I mean, we were that excited about him right away. And then has the injury in Seattle, goes through the rehab, every day, same guy every day. So, but he's very well liked, but very well respected, and he has a great personality, and we all see it. I hate to tell you, we see it probably a little sooner than you do, but we could see this guy's really, is something special, and so I think that's a big part of it, especially where we are as a team. Our urgency needed to be at its highest, and it was, and he was, one of the guys leading the charge. So, I mean, I think it's a very natural reaction by his teammates, and he's got a big personality too. He's got a great personality, So, he's a young man that's carries some juice in the locker room for only being here a short time.
It's a different injury, a potentially more severe injury, but the fact that he has at least gone through something similar before and was obviously able to bounce back and play the way that he did this year, is that any solace that, hey, 2026 he might be right back to doing what he was doing this year?
Well, I didn't speak to him specifically about the injury, but I know just speaking to the trainers, he's been pretty, hey, how's this going to go? What do I need to do? has been pretty matter of fact about the plan. I mean, it's not even been 24 hours yet, but and I would expect him to go to attack it like he did last year.
All righty, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.